Which flower did Margaya need for Lakshmi Puja? It is lotus. She tries to hide all her pain behind a smile. Margaya is very good at giving loans, maintaining account, trying to calculate. They were walking slowly. So what are the adverbs here? Slowly is the adverb. Hello, hi, namaste and welcome to Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. I am Nandakishore, Faculty of English in Vidhyaashram, MYSURU. In today's session, I am going to discuss the previous year's question paper, the question paper of 2019 on the novel The Financial Expert, prescribed to third semester BCom and B.B.A students. So let us start solving this question paper straight away. You should know the question paper pattern, that the first main, it is for 10 marks. You will be facing 15 questions. Out of 15 questions, you will be writing any 10, which carries 1 mark. Here is the thing. Answer 10 of the following in a word, phrase or sentence each. So you are going to answer any 10 and you are going to face 15 questions. What does Margaya mean? It means one who shows path or way. Path or way. Which flower did Margaya need for Lakshmi Puja? It is lotus. And they may ask you another twisted question. What are the things that Margaya needed to perform Lakshmi Puja? He needed two main things, lotus and ghee. So they may ask you question on ghee. So they draw the milk from the grey colored cow and out of that milk the ghee should be made. You can expect a question. What is the title Dr. Pal wanted to give to his sociology book? It is Bed Life. And which later is titled as Domestic Harmony. Okay, it is Domestic Harmony. What news did Meenakshi receive about Balu from Madras? That Balu was dead. Next, where did Margaya carry out his business with the villagers in the beginning? Under the banyan tree or in front of Central Cooperative Land Mortgage Bank. Next, with whom has Balu begun spending more time while in his new house? With Dr. Pal. Balu was a pampered child. True or false? It is true. Dash is the only answer for all the sorrows in life in Margaya's view. It is money. In his view, money is the only answer for all the sorrows. Who is Dr. Pal? Dr. Pal, you can write multiple answers. Sociologist, the journalist, or even one who wrote Bed Life, or one who brought down the character of Margaya in the novel. Were Margaya and his brother really in good terms? No. The answer is no. Though they pretended to be in good terms, they never were in good terms. What did the priest offer Margaya in temple? He offered milk. He gave camphor and he offered milk. Next, whom did Balu marry? He married Brunda. And where is Brunda from? Brunda is from Mempi Hills. Who is she? She is the daughter of a plantation owner. Where did Balu throw Margaya's account book? In gutter. there is a gutter scene. Name the owner of the garden printery in Malgudi, Madan Lal. Where was Balu's house located? In Lovelace Street. This is very important. Other than these, you can expect other questions, few other questions, if you read the novel thoroughly. Like, who is the merchant, or who is the person who sells blanket, or who is the person who rented his shop to Margaya? It is Guru Raj. So you should know these names. And also, when Margaya goes to Madras, he enters the house. So what is the title of the house? The Enlightenment. The House of Enlightenment. It is the House of Enlightenment. Let us move on to the second main. Write short notes on any 4 of the following. Now we are done with 10 marks. We are about to go to 20 marks now. This carries 5 marks each. Arul Das is the head peon. He comes and conveys the message of secretary to Margaya, and Margaya blasts Arul Das and sends a word with Arul Das to secretary saying that if your secretary is just an ordinary secretary to the bank, I am the proprietor, I am the owner of the bank. So there is a lot of thing where Arul Das has to convey to Margaya, and Arul Das is a bridge between secretary and Margaya. His bit cunning is he takes bribe. There are a lot of things which we come across in the novel. Gutter episode where Balu is troublesome kid. He is a spoiled brat. He goes to his father demanding the toy, wooden toy. Margaya rejects, and when Margaya gets busy looking at the account book, Balu spills ink on it, and Margaya gets angry. He starts beating. Balu just takes this account book, runs out of the house, and Margaya starts catching him. He wants to catch Balu and he cannot. He couldn't catch. Finally, Balu ends up tearing this account book and putting the book pages, torn pages, in the gutter. So that is the gutter episode. The priest of the temple, he meets Margaya while he was resting on the stone pavement. Both of them go to the municipal corporator's house. They perform puja, and then priest takes Margaya to the temple. He gives camphor and milk, and later on he gives some measures to Margaya to perform Lakshmi Puja for 40 days. He goes on to give a lot of instructions. Lakshmi Puja. So this is where Margaya starts, or believe, he basically believes that I need to get money. In order to get money, I need to perform Lakshmi Puja, and how it has to be done, it is clearly instructed by the priest of the temple. Lotus has to be found. The petals of the lotus should be burnt to ashes, and it has to be mixed with the ghee. The ghee has to be made out of milk which is drawn by the mustard colored cow, and this lotus petals ash should be mixed with ghee, and it has to be put on his forehead so that he invokes the blessings of Mother Goddess Lakshmi. Brinda, she is the wife of Balu. She is very docile. She obeys by the rules of both mother-in-law, father-in-law, and her husband as well. She is from MP Hills. Her father is a plantation owner. And she gets married to Balu, and she never leads a happy life. Once Balu has a kid, he goes on to have an extramarital affair, and though Vrunda knows this, she never conveys this or never reaches this message to neither Margaya nor Meenakshi. She gulps all the problems down the line, and she keeps all the problems for herself. She neither conveys to her husband, Balu, nor to Margaya, her father-in-law. She tries to hide all her pain behind a smile, but later when Margaya visits the house, she reveals what Balu is into. Matching of horoscopes. In matching horoscopes, here Margaya goes to Madras. He convinces his son Balu. He gets back his son to Malgudi. On the way back, he promises Balu that ever again in his life, he is not going to trouble Balu to study and he can do whatever he wishes. So later, after a few months, he realizes that Balu is putting on a lot of weight and it is the right age to Balu to get married. He tries to get the horoscope. He tries to call the priest and get the horoscope matched, both Balu's and Brinda's. And the priest, the first priest, denies, saying that it is not going to be a happy marriage. And Margaya gets angry. He never pays any fees to the priest, but he just pays him 1 rupee and he tells that is what the priest deserves. While he is so confused, at the right moment, Dr. Pal visits Margaya. He takes both the horoscopes. He goes out. He gets it matched by some other priest with the cost of 75 rupees and he gets a card printed. So this is how the horoscopes are matched, and it also speaks about the matter of money where 1 rupee can make a difference, right? With compared to 75 rupees. If you pay more, you can get matched anything. So that is what it conveys here. Madan Lal, the proprietor, the owner of the cotton printery, Margaya takes this book, the manuscript by Dr. Pal. From Dr. Pal, he goes to Madan Lal, he gives it. They come to terms and conditions, the policy, the treaty. What is it? That they are going to share the income, the profit between themselves, 50% share by each. And Madan Lal is a business-minded person. He tells Margaya that I would like to share only your profit, but not your problems. And later on in the novel, we get to see that Margaya wants to end his agreement and Madan Lal tries to pay him in form of check, a lump sum amount. Margaya's assistance to peasants. Here, right from the beginning, Margaya is considered as the financial wizard. He goes on to make a lot of profit. He gets his hand on the applications from Central Cooperative Land Mortgage Bank. He uses them and he gives the loan to the peasants who are in need of money. Rather than taking minimal interest, he demands high interest. He goes on to maintain an account book, and he knows that peasants who come in need of money, they will not be able to pay any interest and they are going to lose the property what they have pledged. And that is what happens in this novel. And if you see, Kanda from Mempi Hills is the only one who pays this interest and gets back what he has pledged under Margaya. So that is about the short notes. Now let us move on to third main. Write short notes on any three of the following. Any three. Margaya was a financial wizard but a failed father. Substantiate your answer. Margaya is very good at giving loans, maintaining account, trying to calculate his business. But on the other hand, he is not a good father. He has failed. Why? Because he could read the pulse of his peasants, the loan takers, but he would never read the mind of his own son, Balu. He couldn't understand his intentions. He couldn't understand his way of life. So you need to write why Balu is a spoilt brat. It's because of his own father. And how Balu goes on to play around with the teachers since Margaya becomes one of the secretaries in the school. And that leads Balu to fail in his life. Describe how Dr. Pal plays a vital role in bringing success and also ending the career of Margaya. Initially, it is Dr. Pal who gives his manuscript, Bed Life, and out of that book, Margaya makes money. He becomes Kharorpati, sort of. And later on, once Dr. Pal involves himself in the life of Balu, Margaya learns that it is Dr. Pal who is filling the ears of his son and beats Dr. Pal black and blue. He starts bleeding. He goes to police station and lodges complaint. And Not only that, he also goes to the investors who have invested money on Margaya. He tries to convince them that Margaya is going bankrupt. And all the people, the very next day, all the people, they come and take out the money. And this is how Margaya loses all the money and all the wealth he had accumulated. Give an account of Balu's unsatisfactory student life. Of course, Balu was never a bright child. And to add more pain to his student life, Margaya becomes the secretary of the school. And all the teachers were very much afraid, scared about Margaya, and they knew that Balu is Margaya's son. So they would at times beat Balu, at times maintain distance from Balu. And Mr. Murthy, who is the private tutor, who comes to Margaya's house and teaches Balu, he tries to play trick with Balu's mind by maintaining a sort of friendship. He just remains like a person who talks to Balu very friendly, and Balu takes this as an advantage and starts playing with the emotions of Mr. Murthy as well. Money is everything for Margaya. Explain, of course, right from the beginning, Margaya always mentions about money, money, money and nothing else. He reaches such an extent that he gives up on his own health. He is not even consuming his food. He is not even having his meal. He is not even sleeping on time. And his wife comes and questions, what is wrong with you? You shouldn't be taking care of your health. Margaya scolds his wife and tells that, don't disturb me. If you want anything, you can take. If you want any amount of money, you can take. But I prefer to be left alone. And in one of the scenes, he always says that if money is there, I can buy anything. And also, with money, I will be respected. And the secretary is being respected, it's because he has money. And I'm not being respected, it's because I don't have. Give an account of Balu, the pampered son. Right from the beginning, Balu, very young kid, he burns his hand in the lamp, and later on, he grows as a young boy. He goes to school, he fails SSLC twice, he doesn't maintain hygiene, he starts puffing cigarette. Later on, when his father compels him to study and clear his examination, he runs away. He tears this marks card and he goes away from the house. He goes to Madras, and there he is working in a theatre. But here in Malgudi, people believe that Balu was dead. And later, Margaya goes to Madras, convinces him and gets him back to Malgudi, promises him never to trouble. And Balu starts just doing what he wants to do. He gets married to Brunda. He is not a happy man. He is not satisfied there. And also he wants the property of his father, Margaya. He wants his share. He wants money. Later on, when Margaya denies giving money, Balu goes on to involve himself in extramarital affair. And this is a drawback in his life. Dr. Pal is the one who helps him. That is about Balu. Next, language component. Identify the adverbs in the following sentences. We are through with 60 marks now and plus 20. This 20 is grammar. They were walking slowly. So what are the adverbs here? Slowly is the adverb. Walking is verb. Were is auxiliary verb or helping verb. They is subject. Pronoun and also subject. I meet him often for business matter. Often is adverbs. Ramu reads quickly. Quickly is the adverb. Seema meets you later. Later is the adverb. And here is a trick. If you want to identify the adverb, there is one general rule. Usually the word which ends with ly is considered as an adverb. This is one of the easiest tricks to remember. Let us move on to the next one. Give one word substitute for the following. Hindu goddess of wealth, fortune and prosperity. It is Lakshmi. A person who writes for newspapers and magazines. Journalist. Or even the columnist. an expert in the development of human society, sociologist. And an author's handwritten text that has not been published yet, right? Not yet been published. It is manuscript. So these are the one-word substitute words you need to read the novel and predict the questions you can face in the semester exams. Next one is construct sentences of your own using 4 of the following, any 4. So I appreciate a lot if somebody helps me. I love to visit Mysore. I love to visit temple. You can use your own sentences. Necessary. Water is necessary for life. Comfortable. I'm very comfortable here. Revenge. Trying to take revenge will only take your peace of mind. Advice. I love advising people. I am being advised by somebody. Arrange. I always arrange my books on the table. Participate. Trying to participate in a game or in competition will help you to gain experience. So that is about construction of sentences. Next one, change the following into passive voice. This is important. She wrote a letter. A letter was written by her. He is building the wall. The wall is being built. Is being built by him. I have met him. He has been met by me. Ravi will paint the house. The house will be painted by Ravi. So that is about changing from active to passive voice. The last section of this question paper, read the following passage and answer the questions that follow. Here I have not chosen any particular paragraph or passage. In your examination, you can expect any passage, any paragraph where they will be given 4 questions, and reading the passage, you can answer this 4 questions, which is just a piece of cake. So that is about today's session. I'm going to meet you in my next session. Until then, have a good day. Take care.